Well, hey, good morning, everybody. Here we are. Welcome to Thursday, July 8th. That's day 189 is what we're on. I'm Alex, and this is my daughter,
Tia.
So Tia's joined us. She is she's working summer camps along with doing some babysitting this summer, rocking at summer camps. You've got, what are we on, week 2, week 3?
No. Week
3?
Yeah, 3.
Something like that. It blurs together when you're 17, right? Exactly. So, all right. Well, Tia, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into the word, and you're an expert at this.
Sure.
Okay, you got to speak up so they can hear you. Sure. Yeah, and why are you an expert?
I'm not, but
You're not.
I go to Cedar Park Christian in Bothell
And so you're supposed to study the Bible every day at school, right?
every day. Yep.
Yeah.
This year we just studied Acts.
Okay. Oh, so you're going to have some good insight because we're reading Acts today. So, well, hey, let's get into it. In the Old Testament, we're reading 1 Chronicles, and it's 5, and as also we're going to jump into 1 Chronicles 6. So, it's kind of interesting here, Tia, that we see. Here's what I took, and I'm curious what you took out of this. But we see that when the Israelites or when they have the faith in God, what happens?
Then God rewards them and they win their battles.
They kind of have success. And when they don't have faith, when they kind of, I don't know if I want to call it lose their faith, but when they have lack of faith and they kind of take their eye off of God, what do we see?
They struggle.
Struggle. So is that kind of how life is, would you say?
Yeah. Like when you have your eyes off God, even for a minute, like I can just even in my own life, I can just see how I start to slip down a bad path. But then as soon as I get my eyes on God again, then I am centered and he helps me back on the right path.
Yeah. Even having those around us, for you, for friends, for me, for friends, for family, that do have a center on God, that can help us pull us back in. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, have you experienced any of that within your friends that you've either helped or friends have helped you pull back in?
Yeah, especially at a Christian school, having a good, strong friend group that loves Jesus. There's been groups that I've been in that don't have strong faiths, and I can definitely see that in my walk at that time. But then as soon as I'm back with those other friends, my faith is just so much stronger. And it's definitely apparent, and I know in public schools it's harder to find a good group, but in Christian schools it's definitely apparent on who is strong and who isn't.
Yeah, but even that, you've got friends across the board. One thing I've noticed nowadays with teenagers, it doesn't matter what kids go to what school. Social media allows them to be friends across. You've got friends in Idaho, Wyoming.
Yeah.
Anybody outside those states?
Montana,
right? And we got family over in that area, so we get to meet people, and she meets people, but then they have friends. But even here, so we live in Woodinville, but you've got friends at schools all over the place, and some are Christians and some aren't, and you make influences, and sometimes they make influences on you, and that's where sometimes struggles can happen, as well as with us as adults. Right? Who hasn't struggled with that type of thing, where our walk gets challenged, our faith gets challenged. And so this to me is a great reminder of that. When we let go of our faith, things begin to struggle in life. And when we put our faith back in God, we begin to see, not that things are all of a sudden going to blink and go back better, but things just seem to work better. And I think we've all can relate to that. Well, here we go. Chronicles 6, though, talks a lot about genealogy. Admittedly, I don't know, Tia, if you kind of blur right through this. Maybe it's a family trait we have, but I have a hard time reading it. But what stuck out to us?
Pasture land is very important.
Pasture land is important in the genealogy, and we would also agree with that. We just we raise cows, and we just
butchered one last week.
We just had butcher day last week, so we're hoping to get the freezer full here. Pasture land is key then and now if you're going to raise animals. So, All right, Tia, I guess here's your chance to be the expert. Acts 26. What anything pop out to you on this one? Putting you on the spot here.
Can you go first?
Okay, I'll go first. Well, I just thought it was interesting here where when you really dive into it, right, we'll pick up the story where Festus, who is the governor of Judea, where he has heard of Paul's accusations, but he didn't find him guilty. But Paul then goes and says, hey, I want to talk to Caesar. But then when you really kind of dive into it, you begin to see that, I'm not going to say there's always corruption in government, but there's corruption here. And there's been corruption even, today, right? You find and you hear things. But it was interesting when I was studying about this, Festus was known to be somebody who was, I'll call him on the take. He was always looking to get a bribe, always looking to be taken, get something out of somebody. And it's believed that he was looking for a bribe here from Paul. And yet Paul wasn't offering it to him, probably because Paul didn't have anything to offer. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know.
You're pausing. So, but I love this. So Paul, we'll go back even what we saw in how it relates to Chronicles, because I think it connects. Is that his faith was bold. He was not shy with his faith. And even in the midst of being put underneath a trial, he in fact actually stood there and tried to convert them. And at one point they're literally laughing at him, but he doesn't even care. He is so bold, he's just willing to risk it all. And you can just see that God is with him in this. And having God with us doesn't always mean that you're going to have the doors opened and it's going to be the promised land right then and there and everything's going to get easy. But yet just having that faith. And I think we all can, at some point in our lives, we've felt that, where you just feel that peace that God brings to us. But it's interesting that here he is, he's questioning things. He's challenging their lack of faith. He's sharing his faith. And they even at one point say, well, I mean, he's really not guilty of anything, but yet you could have been free, but yet you've already asked to go to Caesar. And so he's kind of moving up the chain. And I don't know, you got to wonder why. What do you think, Tia? Any answers?
Maybe like, I don't know, Caesar's like higher in power. And so if he goes to Caesar, then
kind of gets the
ball
golden
rolling,
card,
yeah.
the trump card there where nobody else can do it. So maybe that's the case. Anyway, interesting reading, interesting challenges that we have there. So, okay, let's jump into Psalms. So here we have where King David, his state of mind. Yeah, what's it say right here? What do we talk about here? We highlighted this together.
He's sick at heart.
Yep. And how does it say? How long, O Lord, until you restore me? I'm worn out from sobbing. I know, Tia, you've had friends that have really struggled this last year that we've kind of walked alongside with. And I know that just in society in general, you just see it. Depression's at an all-time high. We've got more things going wrong, I think, with kids and families and adults all across the board. And here, you got to wonder what was going on with King David at this point. That he was crying out to God, sobbing and saying he's just crying out, God, restore me, restore me. And I think, again, it's just something that he was dealing with, and he's asking God for help. And I would just say that's something that we need to do, is no matter where we are in our faith and our walk, we need to ask God to restore us, ask God to heal us and lift us up, because we can't do it alone. We can't. So I know you've been really good with your friends, walking alongside of them. This has been a challenging year for a lot of kids.
Yep. Yeah, very, especially like in online school. I mean, I've been in person this entire year, which has been a huge blessing. But a lot of my friends were in like online or like just hybrid. And so just walking alongside of them, like, I mean, I had a Bible study with one of my friends, like just he's online and I'm in person. So like, it's just an easy way to connect and keep our faith strong. Yeah,
I mean, that's a great example right there. Just because maybe we can't be around as many people, and some people may want to be and come into a group setting or not. I mean, we have technology it's amazing what we have. Even here at church, we've got Zoom Bible studies that happen. We have in-person Bible studies. We have our Right Now Media series, our Right Now Media platform that we have subscription to, which is like a Netflix of Bible study videos that you can do. In fact, now they make it, you can actually watch them and join a group as you do it. Pretty exciting what we have there. So great job of walking along with your friends, Tia. So, well, here we end with Proverbs 18. Wise words satisfy like a good meal. The right words bring satisfaction. The tongue can bring death or life. Those who love to talk will reap the consequences. You ever have you ever getting yourself in trouble with talking too much, Tia, or having friends that talk too much?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Is it a slippery slope?
Yeah. Especially it's like, I don't know, when you start talking, there's just sometimes you just can't stop. But definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think this is just a great lesson for all of us, just to watch what we say, because you just never know. Like I remember as a young college kid, we would hear the the walls have ears, which was a saying that they would often say. Just that you just never know what words you say and who hears and how it can affect others. So, well, hey, Tia, thanks for joining me. I know you've got to get back into summer camp because it's summer camp time. You're working.
It's time to go cook.
Time to go cook. All right. Well, thanks guys for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.